In three, two, one. What's up, guys, and welcome to the One Round Podcast. I'm your host, Diego, alongside my co host, Thomas.
What's up, guys?
And
We're
we
so
are.
happy today, buddy.
Oh, yeah, what's going on?
Well, we finally talked about my game that I've been wanting to talk about for over years.
Yeah, you stole my intro. I was just about to say that this is a
Uh,
special episode for you. This is going to be the Thomas episode.
yep.
Cause, why don't you go ahead and explain
Well,
exactly what we mean by that?
yeah, because you always do the first. I guess I can take one for once.
No, we
Um,
alternate. You did
this
MK
is a
too.
continuation. I didn't. You no, you led with MK. Well, we led like our backstory with it, but you always do the intro, so that's what I'm saying.
Ah, okay, okay.
But pretty much what this is, though, guys, is a continuation of our road. It's like our road to the movie, which of the animated movie, but it's all we were doing is talking about every game, canonically and non-canonically, leading up to it. So we already did one through three, so we already did the trilogy era. Now it's time to start where we get into the 3D era, and this is a special place in my heart because this is literally the first game I have any history with. So we talked about one, two, and three, and I always say, like, oh, I was like about 10 years old in 2000, whatever, and now it's like I can finally. This is the very first Mortal Kombat game I played, so this is kind of exciting for me.
Yeah, and on the contrary, this is the only game in the entire main series that I've never played before. So it's
Which is
literally
why I'm
the
surprised you're my
complete
friend.
opposite. Even though I did see that
Then we have I'll look for a new.
it's
I might have to look for a new call house then because you can't be my friend and not play the game.
I mean I was, yeah, like I saw earlier that there's plenty of ways you can just play. I know there's like Mugen and all that stuff, but I've never really just had the, you know just like felt like sitting down and downloading it. So maybe I'll give it a shot just to say I played it
I
and
mean, hell, like if
beat
we can
this.
find a way to play it online with each other, that'd be great too, and stream it.
I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure there's emulators everywhere or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that. There must be a way. But yeah, we'll figure
but
that out hopefully.
yeah, yay! I gave it my favorite game again. That's awesome. Once you figure it out and tell me, then I'll just do what you tell me. But yeah,
When was the last time you played it?
I played it last year actually.
Okay.
So mind you, so I did. The tower do exist. Don't get me wrong. I know where I can find a tower and play it. However, I don't want to go there always. Especially right now, everything going on. But I did, not recently, a year or two ago, buy a Dreamcast, and then I finally was able to hunt down and find Mortal Kombat Gold. And that's the game I played with. So I didn't play with Vanilla MK4. I played with Gold, which, I mean, roster wise, it kind of did spice it up a little bit, but bringing back bringing back some more trilogy characters that are still quite, like fan favorites. But my earliest memory with this game, I have two, is playing MK Gold with my uncle. Because my family, we don't love it now, but my family and I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. Brothers, sisters wise, and my uncles and dad and mom loved it too. I wish my aunts, but they didn't care for it. But they did love playing. They did like my mom and my dad and my uncles all loved playing it. And I remember playing it for some reason. I lost because he had Goro, which is kind of like unfair, sort of. I'll get into details on that when it comes down to gameplay. But he had Goro, and I remember running out after I lost. Not sad or upset, just running out to a ditch for some reason, and got covered in stickers. That's all they remember. But my point being is like the thing that always stood with me is the theme song and on the select screen and the um, downward spiral on the end of it. And like I'm saying, I want you to find this and edit or and add the sound clip in because I like both of those songs.
Okay.
But it's like so like at the when you lose the game, it has right in like the little closed walls and like you have 10 seconds to say you want to play it or pay again.
Yeah.
Well, this one it literally had you falling the character you lost with falling down a well, and you have 10 seconds, and if you don't click yes or if you don't click start, you will fall on a bed spike. So like its own version of the pit almost.
Huh.
But yeah, this is the first game I played, and this is always like what MK2 is to you is pretty much what MK4 is to me.
Okay. Yeah, that pretty much makes sense actually. Yeah, like I was well MK2 came out in '93, but I was tiny. I was little when I first played it. MK4. Yeah, it is just I understand where you're coming with. Where you're coming from. It has a sentimental
And
value
that was
to
only
it.
four when that happened too. Keep in
Yeah.
mind that. I was 4 or 3. I remember that. I'm 22 now.
Yeah. Um.
Uh,
Yeah, I have an image
but
on
you
there
don't
right
know
now,
person.
guys. But for the podcast itself, but I couldn't find an actual image that I could fit in. Just so you guys know, I have the MK4 roster up here as the image we're recording with right now. Um, it's only MK4's roster because I couldn't find MK Golds in an image size that would actually fit the video. It would be tiny. It would just look like crap. So
Hmm.
just keep in mind that's what there are characters that aren't on this roster list right now. If I can find a better picture, then I'll add it in post edit. But when I edit everything, but if you see this current roster right here, that's why. But yeah, I guess we can go ahead and talk about because I don't have a background with the game. I guess we can kind of talk about
Yeah.
the new characters added.
Gameplay. Um, well,
Or would you rather do that later?
where the I do want to get into gameplay real quick because there is a draft. Oh, okay. Let's talk about the new characters and then we'll talk about the actual story. And we're not going to get into like much of their backstories because we kind of have something that can answer those questions for us.
Mm-hmm.
But I will read some bios. We can start with uh, pretty much one of our favorite characters we've been wanting in the game for so long, Reiko. Now, Reiko was once a general in Shinnok's armies. Reiko led the forces of darkness into battle against the Elder Gods. Once got killed during that onslaught, he resurfaced and joined the battle against Earth's forces. So even with that, doesn't really give us much to know about Reiko, and that's the thing too with bios. Like you don't have much to go off of ever. It's like general synopsis. Like even with like Sub Zero back in MK2 doesn't give you much information.
Yeah, I mean, they're just there to kind of give you a basic insight of who the character is and how they're connected to specific characters.
Yeah, and sometimes they even do that because this one it just says he pretty much just says he was a general for Shinnok's forces twice. It says once against the fight against the Elder Gods, and now again for um against the fight against Earth.
Yeah.
Now, right now, looking at it wise, that does nothing for nobody. But me and you have both made it verbally clear that we will fight for Reiko to begin this game. And that should kind of prove that, and this is not like a being character, so that says a lot about me, but I always want Reiko involved in this game, in any game going forward.
Well, I mean,
So,
you think about it, like he's very connected to two of the main bosses in Mortal Kombat's history, so it only makes sense for him.
yeah,
And we're not talking about he was just kind of connected. He was literally the general for Shinnok's army. He was Shao Kahn's.
Shaka,
He was
and
Shao Kahn's number two.
General,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you would expect him to have a pretty important role in things. Not you don't even have to make him playable if you don't want to make him playable in the story, but he should be there. He should somehow be there, and he should definitely be playable. But if you don't want to make him playable, fine. But have him be there, at least show him like running things
The
a little bit
Reiko
because
Accords.
yeah, like he should definitely have
The
a role in
Reiko
there.
Accords.
yeah,
The
that's
Reiko, of course.
exactly. He's pretty important
The
to it.
Reiko, of
He's
course.
not just.
Reiko.
I
I would
mean,
say this. I mean, can they say in the story mode? Reiko, of
yeah,
course. Reiko, of course, and fucking Reiko, of
they
course.
reference it a lot.
It was annoying as fuck.
Yeah, they reference it as if like, oh well, that kind of makes up for him not being in any of the games basically. But
He
yeah,
was in the comics, but he was not in that game at all, and
yeah,
that would
which
have
is
been a great time to have him.
it was perfect. I
But
mean, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess of just talking about the character, like, I think he was pretty much perfect in terms of the character who could have potentially taken the mantle from Shao Kahn. Of course, a very different
hmm
kind of character because he doesn't have the same physicality to him. He's not massive, but you could definitely give him similar things, especially because he was fighting alongside of him, or he was literally his general for however many
thousands of
hundreds of
years.
years, thousands of years, you would expect him to have learned a lot from Shao Kahn. So they could have easily fit that in there, but they never have. But for MK4, I feel like he was, like I said, I've never played it, but among all the characters in here, the ones that I would like to play the most, especially among the new characters, he's definitely number one. I would say him and Fujin are my two favorites in this game, in terms of
I will
what
say
happened to
this:
them later.
if in any game, and that's let me just mean that in general. Like so, in Deception, they have the conquest mode when you walk around. That's
Yeah.
one of the characters I was happy to see. When I saw him was he was back in Armageddon. That's one of the characters I picked up instantly. And then I was assuming he was gonna be MKX, but he wasn't. Don't care. My point being is that's literally would be like the character I go to if when he comes back. That's the thing. Like there's characters like we all have those characters. Like if they ever get put back in the game, we're going straight to play them instantly. Don't care. Some people that was Trimmer, some people that was Spawn. Like I said I am a big fan of Reiko, and Reiko's in the game. Fuji will be a close second for me.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with that 100%.
Yeah,
Reiko and Fujin are
but
my two favorites from this game in terms of
his
character.
fatalities. Keep in mind this, guys, as well. So I think we kind of should have led with the gameplay for this exact reason because
Yeah,
there was a few things different. But like for example, the fatalities were blocky. Well, the designs are blocky for one, as you can see. Even the sprites, they're blocky as hell. But it was the first time playing with the 3D engine, so they just did what they could. They did do weapons, though, I will say that. And his weapon was a spike club.
yeah. Gameplay wise, they went with a very Soul Calibur slash Tekken kind of style. I think Soul Calibur has
Not really.
weapons.
It's no, I would say this like it was. I think it was kind of like Taken maybe, but like I would say that's not really like Soul Calibur because Soul Calibur, you get your weapons in your hand the entire time. I think so.
Mm.
Versus, at least I remember in Soul Calibur 2 that being the case.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I haven't played Soul Calibur in forever.
I know Soul Calibur 2 that's the case. I remember that much for
Mm.
sure. Ivy has a little whip that also used, and that's all I can really. And Spawn had his axe in his hand the entire time. But and even in this one, MK, Morgan Mech 4, you had to press certain buttons to bring out the weapon first. The downside to that, though, is if you get hit at all, not with the weapon, if you get hit like a little sweep, you lose that weapon. And picking it up, you might as well say fuck it at that point.
Yeah, I always see like people like anytime people talk about it, it was basically like it gave you massive damage, right? The weapon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so it was
it
a
was
risk,
slow,
but yeah, but it could have been worth
but
it.
taking it out was slow as well. Like there would be like a whole slink, and then the habit was like, eh, no, that's not efficient enough. But literally, all you have to do though is because every character I feel like had a projectile in this game. Throw it while they try to pull out the weapon. Like, all right, you just wasted that time and lost more life. But okay, you want to do the next one?
Sure. Shall we go with Jarek
Yes.
just to kind of get the Kano wannabe out there?
Kano 2.0.
Yeah. All right, Jarek, believed to be the last member of Kano's clan, which is spelled with a K, by the way, which is just super cringy. The Black Dragon. Jarek is hunted down by Special Forces agent Sonya Blade for crimes against humanity. With the emergence of a much greater evil, Sonya focuses her strength on the new mechanic. Oh, sorry, the new menacing, not mechanic. Imagine Quan Chi as a mechanic. The new menacing Quan Chi. Jarek now finds himself fighting alongside Sonya and Earth's warriors to help defeat the evil elder god Shinnok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this, so go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like the Black Dragon. I think nobody particularly cares about them. And Jarek is just like the shitty version of Kano. That's just kind of get that out of the way.
Yeah, but I will say that they did Jarrett already better than they do Kano. Kano plays the same person every game. Maybe in the next game he's a little bit different, but he's literally Kano's the same person through and through.
Yeah, literally until
This
MK11.
one, yeah, but but he is literally a carbon copy of Kano almost to the even his special moves. Let's see, Ground Slam is new, Cannonball.
What was the Red
Cannonball's another
Star?
move.
Was
I
his?
want to say that's the Heat Vision.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
even
basically,
his fatalities are like Kano's.
yeah,
Heart Rip and Laser Eye, where he would just pretty much have Heat Vision just slice you to pieces by shaking his head.
yeah. He's essentially Kano with a ground slam.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what his weapon was. His weapon was a Black Dragon sword, which I don't have a picture of right now. It's not showing me, but pretty much he is literally a carbon copy of Kano. But I will say he's already a better character than Kano because of the fact that instead of being selfish and a jackass like Kano is, he doesn't want to die. And if literally Hell Incarnate take over, you're gonna die. So he joins up with Earth forces with Sonya, his someone who's hunting him down just to survive.
Yeah, they at least gave him some development in his character, and that you show he's not just there to make money; he's actually there for other things.
It's like he already had a better arc than Kano has in the past 26 years now, 27.
It's not saying too much, but it's better than nothing.
They at least tried with him.
Yeah, trying and failing is better than
Okay,
not trying at all.
exactly. All right, I got the next one. Ooh, Edenia, Tanya.
Okay.
Okay, what was her weapon? Okay, that was. Oh, did not know that's how you did that. Okay, that's nice. I'll get into the what I'm talking in a second. As the daughter of Edenia's ambassadors to New Realms, Tanya invites a group of refugees fleeing their own world into the safety of Edenia. But soon after Queen Sindel allows them through the portal, she learns one of uh, that one of the warriors is none other than the banished elder god Shinnok. The portal leads into the pit of the Netherrealm itself, and once free, Edenia, right, once free, Edenia of now at the mercy. Okay, so the once free Edenia is now at the mercy of Shinnok. So that's something we'll get touch more on later when it comes to story, but literally Tanya is like the biggest bitch slash traitor you can find in video game history. But like I said, we talked about a little bit in MK3 where certain characters, like you can kind of see where she's coming from. I don't think that's what they intended on, because I don't think they thought about things in general. But Tanya, I think, just didn't respect the way that how Sindel pretty much became automatic queen again because she's alive. When you betray your people and shit like that, you kind of don't really get much of a say on politics. But I mean, other than that, Tanya is the only character that I think is fleshed out the most. I think, other than Shinnok and Quan Chi, because of the fact that, like I said yesterday, if you are related to Ed Boon, you get a character named after you,
Yeah.
and after that, you're in the game for life, and you get the most development.
I mean, basically, there's, yeah, like she's. What games has she been in after this? Deadly Alliance.
Deception,
No,
no,
well,
not
not Deadly
Deadly
Alliance.
Alliance.
Deception, and then
But
yeah,
they gave her a role in Deadly Alliance, though, too, apparently.
yeah, she has
But
some story to her. Yeah,
she worked with the Deadly Alliance. She worked for Onaga. She was in Armageddon, but everyone was in there.
yeah,
She was an NPC in 9, and she was a DLC in X.
yeah. So far, nothing about 11. She definitely won't be DLC, but she might appear in an ending or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I suppose they didn't even do that. But, no, and like I said, we're going off the theme of weapons as well. Now, another thing to mention as well is that they did have alternate costumes as well in this game. That's when they
yeah,
started that. So Tanya, like the other two, they just had like their alternate. Like if you click the character again, Tanya had her yellow, purple, and a silver. Well, actually, another funny story as well about this game. Well, first, I'm tell you what her weapon was. It was the boomerang. So I'm not really sure how that was gonna be effective at first, but if you do the boomerang at least, then you can make it come back by pressing the low punch. Didn't know that until just now, but
yeah. I didn't know it either. I haven't never played it, but
yeah.
still, like I've seen a shit ton of MK4
I,
in terms of YouTube. So,
yeah.
but I never noticed that that was a thing.
But honestly, in all things as well, Tanya wasn't supposed to be in the game though. The sprite they used for Tanya was originally supposed to go to Katana.
As an alternate or what?
No, like literally, like it was supposed to be Katana in the
Huh?
game, not Tanya. Now, not saying that Tanya's story was going to go to Katana, but that's still like the whole point is that Katana was supposed to be in the game.
Yeah,
Now, what they end up doing, one way that's been proven though, is on the PS4 version of MK4, you can put in a code. I'm not sure what the code is exactly, but you can use the same sprite, and you can use Katana. Now, I'm not sure if the moves are the same still. I think like fighting style, the moves the same, but I'm not sure like the special moves. Did she get the fans, or did she stick with Tanya's weapons and stuff?
hmm. That's
But
interesting.
also, out of all the fatalities so far, because and you can kind of see like you can kind of think that you kind of see even with the fatalities that we're going to go with her because she also has the case of death where you kiss and your body contorts and blows up like everyone else with kiss of death. But also the breaker, I think that was supposed. I'm not sure who that could have gone either way, but that's like the most. Oh shit! That's like the most almost graphic fatality, or at least the most like, oh shit, this person's dead, dead. Like it's not like all like the fancy with the scorpion breathing fire or looking her into a dragon, but it's like she literally snaps your neck with her thighs 3 times, and your head's just spinning afterwards, and you fall down.
There's no coming back from that.
And the sound it makes is just like what? Yeah, no, no, no.
Definitely
I
not.
mean, unless
Wait,
you
are you
snap
okay?
around 3 times the opposite way. Are you okay?
uh,
Okay, let's go to the next. But
well,
yeah, we'll get more into like their story, particular stories, because Tanya actually does play a role pre MK4. So, Next we have. It's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Fujin. Let me load him up real
Okay.
fast because I feel like Fujin alongside Reiko is, like I said, my favorite from the game. All right, so Fujin, better known as the god of
Yeah.
wind, Fujin joins Raiden as one of the last surviving gods of Earth. Their counterparts were defeated in a war of the heavens between Shinnok's forces and the Elder Gods. He now prepares for the final battle between the forces of light and Shinnok's hell-spawned warriors of darkness. So basically, yeah, his whole thing is he is supposed to replace Raiden as the protector of Earthrealm, as the
Spoiler
main
alert, but
guy.
that's not what we get.
Oh shit! Well, my
Nutshell.
bad. Oops.
So, sure, you want to take over?
Now go ahead.
Okay. Do you want me to take over?
Yeah, you do you. Shine. You're the one that knows the
Okay.
MK4 storyline better than I know my own. So.
Well, so one thing we might want to mention as well, because he does, and this is why we probably will skim over it, but we will definitely go revert back to it at a different time. Before MK4, at the same year, they released another game that was just for home systems, which was more Kombat Sub-Zero Mythologies, more Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. And in that game, before you even get into details on who Shinnok is, you fight, you kill Scorpion. So that's explain how Scorpion died. You go back to your clan. You meet Quan Chi, and he tells you he needs your help because you're so much stronger. And he really, Scorpion is that motherfucker. Not Scorpion. Quan Chi's that motherfucker that you just want to just choke the living life out of, even though he's dead, and keep choking until he dies again. Bring him back and choke him once more. But some of the boss fights you have when you are facing these characters. Let me see if I can pull up a picture of them. Um, you fight the elemental gods of Earth. So you fight fire, earth, water, and wind. You don't fight Raiden, but you do fight all the other ones. So let's see if I can find an image of them. No. But Fujin's one of those guys that you do end up fighting, and that's kind of surprising. And that's what we're talking about. Like he's one of the last four. So out of the five, which is Raiden, Fujin, and three others, those two are the only ones left alive.
Yeah, and I always found him to be like I don't know. I really wish they did more with him. I felt like he was he was set up so well.
Underdeveloped.
Yeah, there was such a good setup for him, and they just he's the one that I feel like they failed to deliver with the most.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, we won't get into details on those characters. Like I said, we mentioned it yet talked about it a lot in MK3 about how from three on there'd be so many new characters that are introduced and nothing ever happens with them. Because Fujin and Reiko are two favorite characters from this game, do not make another appearance until Armageddon. And they're Fujin has a bigger presence, I believe. I don't think Reiko has any at all. But let's see. No, but if you want, you can keep talking about that Fujin while I look for this because I gotta find this.
Yeah,
Let me look
that's
for
for
this
sure. Yeah,
picture
I
real
mean, like
quick.
like you said, man. Like I don't know about it from a gameplay point of view, but like even all his moves and stuff like that, I always thought to look through. Like they looked like they were probably really fun to. He looked like he was always fun to play as. Um, I like, of course, this isn't quite for MK4, but in Armageddon, he was one of the characters that I like to play as the most. Um, I really gotta play this game eventually. I gotta find guys. If you're listening to this, then let me know in the comments if you know of any particularly good emulators or ways that we can play this online and maybe stream it or at least record the games, the fights,
Hmm.
and put them up on YouTube because I'm sure there's a way to do that
Twitch.
together.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know Max does it a lot too. So,
Mhm.
so I think we can talk to Max sometime. Like he does it a lot too. He
Yeah.
plays that game a lot, especially when new Mortal Kombat games come out. He always plays it. He has his whole like playthrough pretty much.
He plays
Okay,
through the series.
mythology. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let me take a look at some of his special moves. Where the whirlwind spin, which is always cool. Levitating opponent, that was always kind of cool to do in Armageddon too. Levitate slam, the dive
Oh yeah.
kick, yeah. And his weapon is the
It's like
crossbow.
yeah. And his crossbow, get this, shoot lasers.
Shoots lasers. Makes no sense, but okay.
This wind gust shoots lasers.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
they gave it to the wrong person.
So you have like a fire rating, uh guy who looks like Iceman who's made out of water, I'm assuming. I'm assuming this person here is the Earth guy and he just looks like a brute. And then you have Fujin. Fujin's literally the only person who has an actual costume. Like everyone else just look like generic warriors. Even with Serena, Takaka, and I don't think I want to say Kira, but no, it's not Kira. Everyone else, it looks like besides you can tell who was going to be going for in game because Quan Chi, Shinnok, and Fuji are people who really look like they have legit costumes. This one warrior does, but I'm not sure who that even is, so can't speak on it. But I'll send you a link to that later, so you can see the picture I'm talking about. But
Sounds
yeah,
good.
but also I think, and it's a theory. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say yes it was, but you can kind of tell with his fatalities alone that he might have supposed to be in the Sindel might have supposed to be in his spot. Like
Yeah, you're
he
right.
was well, because look at his character. To be honest, you kind of like it. Kind of looks like something that Sindel might wear almost. Like, that's a real stretch. But like, the white eyes, get the popping ponytail. Right now, it look like Sindel. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it
And
the
then
face too, like
if
just
you
in the
just
face in
make
general.
yeah, and then also fatality wise, and I feel like so the crossbow kill. I don't think she has fatality like that, but it's literally like the whole spin thing, for example. Like it spins. Well, you know her fatality when she throws the hair around you and
Yeah,
spins you like a top. It's like if you look up, and you can look it up too if you want, but if you the way that it's done, it's literally it spins like that, and literally they could just have her throw a fireball to make it the same thing, the same quality of what he does with his crossbow. And then the Skinner is literally just him throwing wind, which is literally her screaming on MK3.
yeah.
So it's the same animation.
One thing I think we probably should have said. This is my fault because I wanted to start off with this, but I completely forgot. Is that this is the first time in MK where the characters aren't basically real people, just put into the game. This is the first time that they went with full animated characters. So what they probably did, especially because you're bringing up a good point right here, is they probably had a lot of these characters where they kind of gave them just this general look. That way they could, if they needed to, they could like make them, in this case, Sindel or something like that. And so they have similar moves to other characters. I think Jark is so similar to Kano for that very reason. Maybe they decide to put in Kano and he's basically the same character. They have kind of the same story, just slightly different.
Tanya, I told you that one, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
is literally
It's basically
like
Katana.
Tanya is well, yeah, she's pretty much, that's what a lot of people think like, oh, Katana, Jay, Melina, and Tanya. It's like it kind of all goes together because literally she's a originally, well, and technically she's only there because she is a power swap version of Katana. Now they changed it when it comes to gold, but still, that's what she is, a power swap of Katana. But all right, do we want to talk Kai? Or do we want to do Quan Chi and Shinnok?
You pick yours, and I'll go ahead and go based off of that.
Okay, well I'm doing Kai
Okay.
because technically those are like our sub bosses and bosses. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, a former member of the White Lotus Society, Kai learned his skills to fight Kai, hey, Kai learned his skills from the great masters throughout Asia. He journeyed from to the Far East after meeting his friend and ally Liu Kang in America. Now they are reunited and assist Raiden to battle Shinnok. And this is the first, honestly, this is the first, after going through all the new characters so far, this is the first new character that actually has a legit alternate costume. So you have like the red and you have the green, but you also have him in like street gear, which kind of looks like generic black people gear. But okay, it was 1997. I'll let it slide.
Just wearing like a leather jacket and sunglasses.
And it's not even like it's not even a shirt. It's a jacket, sunglasses, jeans, and the way he's jumping too kind of reminds me of the Black Ranger. I mean, I know everyone else bounces like that as well, but his fighting style does remind me of the Black Ranger, and they made up a whole fighting style for him called hip hop kung something like that. But it's like really not Kai, the Black Ranger. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
But
yeah.
still, but no, Kai's another like I said, another character who I will wish I could have seen more of. I will say that in MK Armageddon, they may have looked too bulky in my eyes, but um, in all honesty, though, I think Kai's like falling in that same category of characters that you kind of wish you saw more of. Because after the whole point was for him training was to take over the mantle from Liu Kang. So Liu Kang was trained for he was to be the next generation of fighters. Liu Kang was training, but they pulled out the last second, and now Kai is in the void.
Yeah, and it's kind of continuing the trend that we discussed at the end of the MK3 video, which is basically that, they always have these good ideas, and they don't pull the trigger on it in the long run. They decide to just kind of retcon things. They just don't make people actually develop in the right ways, and they end up basically reusing the same characters over and over again, making more new things, which they then never take advantage of. They never extend. They never expand, and we just end up in this endless cycle of new characters who basically never lead to anything. So
Yeah,
it's
and that's why
frustrating.
like a lot of people, and that's why people. I'm surprised we went this long without mentioning them at all. Nethercast. So Black Cyborg did a video last year or a couple of years ago, and just about trying to like gauge the community. And he put it on Twitter, and everyone just shared it because everyone loves them. But they're like an official slash unofficial podcast for not for more combat, like how we are. Now he did like a poll, and it's like the first question was pretty much how many characters do you want, and how many new characters do you want in the next game? Options were 0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, or 7 to 8. Now, a lot of people, like I think the top two were 3 to 4 or 1 to 2. And that's just, I get that because like we know what's going to happen. We're going to get a bunch of new characters, nothing happens with them. I mean, look at MK11 for example. We have Geras, Cetrion, and the Collector. Now, character-wise, Collector's cool. Gameplay-wise, Geras is cool. He has potential to be a good character too going forward. Cetrion just sucked in general because who they did to her. It's like, oh, she's the daughter of such and such. Of Chronica. I'm not sure why I said such and such. But I think nothing happens to them because we're on reboot so serious anyway.
Yeah, they're just
So
like they're in there for one game, and they're probably never going to come back. There's really no reason for them to come back at this point.
yeah,
Yeah, I think the only person I've ever seen that likes Cetrion is my girlfriend, but that's just because she likes the look of her because she found a good costume that she likes. That's pretty much it. Story
I think
wise,
Dragon likes her. That's because he plays her a lot.
yeah, maybe. I can't use her.
Competitive
I don't like
player.
her. Yeah,
Oh, I don't either, but it's just
yeah,
like I know like there are people who like her, but like story wise, people look at characters and look at gameplay, which I do too. Don't get me wrong, but if they don't develop anything as story, why are they there in the first
Yeah,
place?
that's what I'm there for the most part. Like I'm shit regardless of the game, so it doesn't matter who I'm using really. Um,
Mm.
unless you're Scorpion. Scorpion is just super easy.
Oh yeah.
All right. Shall we move on to the next character, or are you still? Do you have anything else to say about Kai?
No, I'm done. Um, you
All
might as well
right.
just do quantity since Nuck's our boss.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do Quan Chi. All right, Quan Chi, a free-roaming sorcerer, powerful in the black arts. Quan Chi uses his abilities to free the now evil elder god Shinnok from his confines in the Netherrealm. In exchange for his services, Shinnok has granted Quan Chi the position of arch sorcerer of his now expanded Netherrealm.
Hmm.
He's an interesting one
He's
because
here's the
he,
thing.
yeah.
We'll go into what you guys say because we know. So you don't hear what you guys say about Quan Chi.
No, I was gonna say he's an interesting one because we have seen him in other media as well in mythologies. So we know a bit more about him and say Shinnok than we do some of the other characters. And like you really said, like you can kind of tell he's gonna be a lot more important than any of the other characters, or at least most of the other characters, because of his costume. Like his costume is extremely detailed. He's got easily one of the best rendered costumes in there. So
Mm-hmm.
you can immediately tell who's going to be important in the game. Um, and in
Well,
general,
here's I think. I'll get into details on this whole thing as well when we talk about Shinnok next. But you can kind of tell that there was some fuckery going on even back then with Quan Chi. Like I said, we'll get into details on next. But I mean, technically, Quan Chi, his original story wasn't even supposed to be nothing with mythologies or um, Shinnok at the time. So, like I said, one day we were going to sit down for what is 13 divided by 2?
13 divided by
7.5?
2, 6.5, yeah.
Okay. We're going to sit down for 6.5 hours, or give or take about 30 minutes or so, and we're going to watch the finish of the round.
Fair enough.
I will find a YouTube one that has all the episodes, and we will sit down and watch it all and react.
That works for me.
All right. But that being said, though, Quan Chi first like appearing role before mythology was before MK4 was a Defender of the Realm episode, and his nemesis, the person who beats him, is Nightwolf. Not Sub Zero.
Hmm.
So it's pretty much someone else had a good idea had a good look for a character. Midway and John Pius saw it and then expanded on it a little bit more, gave him a different story, but still, it's like it wasn't like it was their original thing either. But I will say this: Quan Chi does have probably one of the best fatalities in my eyes in this game, and that is Fatality One, um, leg beat.
It's definitely one of the most memorable. I'll definitely give you
Oh
that.
yeah.
Rips off
Well,
your fucking leg and just beats the shit out of you with it.
and keeps doing it even after the cutscene.
Yeah.
Even like as you're fading away, and after the fatality, just keeps beating your body with it. But I didn't think of break. Just keep swinging. Like this guy has some issues. I don't like him. I think the first time I seen that fatality, I was at arcade and somebody did that to me. I'm like, I ain't never seen that before.
Somebody did it to you.
I want to keep playing this now. Uh-huh. Well, I didn't know. I never played with an arcade machine before that day, actually. But no, Quan Chi, I think he's a character that's way overdone. I feel like in my eyes because he gets to do everything now. Even in Armageddon, when he wins the tournament, when he wins against Blaze, the Elder Gods realize like this is the source of all our issues. Take him out, I think everything works out better now. Which he kind of is. He did set him up to be that a little bit. He frees Shinnok. He actually helps Shinnok overtake Lucifer. Um, he helps free Shinnok from NetherRealm. He then set up Deadly Alliance. Well, he set up a full feud with Scorpion Sub-Zero and then future Sub-Zero. What's next? Deadly Alliance. Because he decided to make the Deadly Alliance and kill Liu Kang and revive the Dragon King army, he then technically revoked the Dragon King in a way. And after dying and sent to another realm, he works with Shinnok again and set up a new alliance of the forces of evil. Because a lot of people weren't supposed to know about the whole battle thing until at all, actually. Once they came up too powerful, it really supposed to come down to Taven and Dagon. That's all. But we'll talk more about that. But I think they said like he's the source of all our issues. So I feel like somebody watched that ending and literally made him the source of all of our issues in the new timeline.
Yeah, he literally does everything from being the one that comes up with the whole bring back Sindel thing.
Yo,
He's literally the artifice
to
of everything.
and that's the thing too. Like no one ever said before 9 that until 4 no one ever said Scorpion was working with Quan Chi. And they make it seem like in 9 he was working for Quan Chi. But there's some fuckery that was happening before that, I feel like. Like even in the very beginning, that was there's some fuckery going on because here. And this is where we talk about shock. Because Shinnok, banished to another realm for crimes committed against the once fellow elder gods. Shinnok is free from his confines by Quan Chi with the traitor. He is now able to overtake the realm again. From there, he wages war against the elder gods and immense chance to enact his revenge on the god who banished him there. It's another realm, pretty much. Raiden. Here's the thing. Even walking up to... Okay, I want you to imagine this. You're walking up to... It's 1997. You're older now, okay? You see a new Mortal Kombat game. You're so ready to play it. And you're looking, and you see this box for MK4. And who do you see on the right side? Who do you see on the right side of the machine? You see Raiden, okay? Guess who you see on the left side of the machine?
It's
Who
Quan
do you
Chi.
think you would see? Exactly. You shouldn't see Quan Chi because he's not technically not even the sub boss. I don't think. I think it's still Goro at that point. But my point being is Shinnok's not even visible on the machine at all.
Yeah, I've always kind of like thought that was a
And
weird
you,
thing, but I always figured that the
I
reason behind it
mean,
is because they put in the most effort to make the costume and all the makeup and all that stuff. So he was the most like
no, I agree to
eye
that.
catching.
I agree because it's Richard DeVizio, and he looks menacing as fuck in the picture. But you put your boss on the if you want your boss to like seem threatened, you put him on the side of the machine, not a guy who no one knows because they probably never even played the freaking mythology game yet.
Yeah, it was weird, but
But yeah, but that's my whole problem. Like, say, it looked like from a point, Shinnok was never going to get that push that he I hate to say it, but he kind of deserved for being, well, the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally a
He's
fallen elder
literally
god.
the boss.
Yeah. So I
He's
mean,
the first elder god we ever seen, and we get to select the Quan Chi.
yeah. I mean, to be fair though, I can definitely see why. Like you said, like costume wise, he's way better. Shinnok just kind of looks like a clown in some ways. So I feel like he's never really been a character that will be taken seriously too much. They definitely did a lot better
Yeah.
in MKX with his costume, making him look good. But um,
I didn't like it either.
you didn't like that one either,
I think actually four looked better. I like
really?
four better than I like not X.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just
X has some shitty animation,
animation wise, for sure. Yeah.
but I think if I'm saying that four looks better than like costume wise, all right, gameplay graphic wise bad, but they use like even on like the endings, which we'll come into probably later too. But they with the endings, like the endings, like the animation looks better there than it does even on the MKX. And I put it like this: MKX has great voice actors, but shitty animation. On the PlayStation, no, not PlayStation. Yeah, it might be the PlayStation one, but on the pretty much on one of the home consoles, the animation for the characters is better than the animation for the game. If they had decent voice actors, I would well, I might be able, some people would say, oh, this is actually not half bad. Still bad, but just not half bad. Like quarter bad. It might be quarter bad for the time.
Still bad, but not terrible.
But
Yeah.
yeah. And that's the same thing with NKX, but like, I just hate Shinnok costume that one.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying I personally liked it more than MK4.
Yeah. Now, I will say one thing though, 'cause it's like staring at me right in my soul right now. Why does Raiden looks like a luchador? I want to say Zaro, but I don't think it's right. Like he looks like the guy from the Princess Diary.
Oh my god, he fucking does. Oh, wow.
I've never seen that movie before. I just know that's what I think it is.
I never noticed it,
I
but now that I see it, I
just
can't
realized it
unsee it.
now. Yeah.
Oh, you just fucked it up for
Okay.
me.
So those are all the new characters finally. Oh my goodness. All right. So with that being said, though, I will definitely go on to gameplay first.
Yep, sounds good.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and reveal the full roster for MK4. So the full roster, including everyone we just already met, we talked about as well. We have Sonya, Jax, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Tanya, Raiden, Jarek, Reiko, Kai, Reptile, Shinnok, Fujin, Quan Chi, Goro, and Noob Saibot. And Meat, who's a secret character, which has no. He's a secret character, but he has nothing to do with the game, really. So I'm not going to talk about it today. Um, I don't think he'll have a character thing in the future either. Um, so those are that's the base roster, and I think a lot of people did voice their opinion about missing the some of the trilogy characters, and this is what I mean. Where this is what we kind of talked about in MK3, but this is just to reassure what I'm talking about. So from NK1, we have everyone except Kano. I realize that. We're okay. We have enough MK1 characters now. We have six of them. MK2, we have literally everyone from MK2, I think.
Who's missing? Well, Baraka was missing on MK4, the original roster.
But that's what I'm talking about. They're talking about going to gold.
Gold.
They added
Yeah,
more
you're right. Yeah,
characters.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Gold. Yeah. Hold on, let me have it. I had it up a second ago.
So you go pull up one, I'm gonna pull up two, and tell me if this person's here or not. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Good. I'm not. There we go. Okay. Liu Kang,
Yes.
Kung Lao,
Yes.
Johnny Cage,
Yes.
Reptile,
Yes.
Sub Zero.
Yes.
I already know who we're missing now. I can say confirm now, which kind of proves a point of the future. Katana.
Mm.
Katana's there.
She's there.
Jax,
Yes.
Melina,
Yep.
Baraka.
Baraka is there.
Yes. Scorpion,
There.
Raiden.
Yep.
The character we're only missing one character from there, and that's Sing Song.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
But literally everyone in MK1 and 2, minus two characters from one from each, is there. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
MK4, MK3, literally the only people who are there are Cyrax and Sector.
That is
And
literally
Sector is more
nobody
of a
else.
hidden character.
Yeah.
Exactly. But okay, so that confirmed that now. Now we can talk about gameplay right now and see what's going on. So gameplay wise, it was all over the place. They did enter the so things we kept and things we got away. We kept the combo system. We kept a lot of fatalities, trust me, because there's so many fatalities that are just reused. We kept the run button. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, they speaking of reused fatalities. Reiko wasn't supposed to be in the game either.
Who is he supposed to be?
He was supposed to be new Cyber.
Ah, okay.
Like literally, their moves are exactly the same, special moves wise and fatalities wise as well. Fatalities he has, I think both fatalities are the same, but um, this game was from they reused a lot of the same things. They just did in a 3D version. Like for example, we kept like Toasty guy. He's there, I think, but he's there in the one way I know for sure. So if you do Scorpion Toasty fatality, um, and like I said, there's like a lot of bits you want to hear because first of all, they did the most like quote unquote voice acting in this game at this point because you have them saying random things when they're throwing people, when they're fighting people. Um, let's see. And this is just a video you can just watch at some point on your own leisure, but there's literally like a video saying like pretty like shit MK4 says.
What do you mean? Like all the dialogue?
So not dialogue wise. That's the thing. So this is not like quote unquote professional voice acting. This is literally like while you're fighting, they will scream random things. Like you know, like Luke Kane does his little bicycle thing. He says some gibberish.
Yeah.
Same thing with Raiden when he's the Superman.
Uh huh.
They're literally like just small like. Let me try to find it. MK4. I'm going on YouTube right now. But it's literally like they would like do certain like throw something or they get hit and they would say something. And it makes no sense at all. I was like, okay.
They would just put in random things, essentially.
Oh yeah. But like you can like you can hear certain you can kind of decipher some of it, but it's like what the hell?
Well, they definitely made some interesting choices with the game. I'll definitely say that there was a lot of the intricacies of the game that were a lot out of the box. I would definitely say, and I think a lot of it has to do with them.
Sounded
Okay, sweet. I think a lot of the
okay.
stuff is that they for them having to go from the arcades to Also having to do a lot of things with the home consoles, I feel like they were trying to find ways that they could fill out, um, just kind of fill out the content a little bit, and their way of doing that was adding in these little oddities.
Yeah, and I get it. I get where it came from a lot of stuff. And gameplay wise, I had no problem with it. The only issue you will run into between Gold and Four would be the fact that the Gold characters were not balanced out at all. It's like they literally just put the characters in there, and that's all that happened after
Hmm.
that.
They just kind of made them OP.
And oh yeah, they were like you can. They did do something called like max damage. So instead of doing combos that would take up like take up someone's entire life, and this is like some things with just like doing the same special move. One prime example is Melina with her little her roll.
Yeah.
She could do that probably like 6 times, and it'll finally like cut you off. Like, all right, you're gonna stop this shit now. That's with any combo though. Like you're getting like too strong, or you're like beating this person like it's so one sided. They will pretty much like you'll do that last hit and like throw you both back. It's like maximum damage. Um, but no, literally, I'm looking right now at the screen shake saver for this YouTube video, and it's right. So it's by JP World Expert. I mean XPac, and the it's called "What Are Mortal Kombat 4 Characters Really Saying?" The image right off the back, I'm familiar with it too, is Sonya saying two N words.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I think I can kind of switch my audio so you can kind of hear it exactly, but and you can tell me if it sounds like the stuff. Like I'm gonna play it, and you tell me what it sounds like.
All right.
I'm trying to make this work. That's gonna be a lot of shit. Okay, 1 second. All right, can you hear me still?
I can still hear you.
Okay. So it's gonna be oh shit, that's too loud almost. Now I doubt if this is gonna come over on the podcast. We doubt we can just edit it out.
Anything I can hear will be on the podcast.
Don't make me laugh. Sonia. Yeah, I know what to do. I can't believe how big your butt is.
So what do you think that said?
Something about her butt is, right?
I will kick you in the dick if you don't tell me where the party is. This is like a joke. I
Ah,
feel like some of it's jokes, but some of it like it kind of does sound like it.
Wanda!
What was that?
I don't know what the hell that was.
I want to talk.
I want to talk. Okay, so they just like speed it up.
I don't know, but
Wanda! Konara!
you hear that one?
Is that supposed to be the M bombs?
Let's try. Yeah,
Huh.
That's not the cheese! That's not the cheese!
A block of cheese?
that's nacho cheese.
That's not no cheese.
I think those like I I don't know exactly what we're saying, but it's literally like the story goes that it's almost as if Midway paid told these people to get buy them lunch if they come say these random stuff.
Huh.
And these are people who work there, so it's not like they are a professional voice actor. They are
Yeah.
literally just come in there and just saying gibberish.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess. Like they just kind of have them say a few things here and there, just add it in there. Just like I said, for just kind of fill out content and add some stuff to it, add some sounds. I don't necessarily. I don't know if I mean, I seriously doubt there's N bombs or something like that. I seriously doubt it.
No,
But
but like, dude, I want to see you tell me if it doesn't sound like that.
yeah.
But that's my point, though. Like, there's a lot of things like that. Like, there's literally when you throw somebody, like, oh, I'm gonna throw you over there. That's literally what it sounds like.
I'm
That's
gonna throw you over
and
there.
while you're throwing it.
I mean, I wouldn't be
But
surprised if they did that. Like, it definitely wouldn't
yeah,
surprise me at all.
but this is like a run-on joke as well. But yeah, also sorry if I meant to read into details. But yeah, the added characters for Gold were Cyrex, Melina, Katana, Kung Lao, Sector and Baraka. Sector was a hidden character, but still involved. He even had his own ending, unlike Goro and New Saiba, who was in the game before him. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. But character and gameplay wise, like I said, it is blocky as hell. It's hard to like look at it and play it, but like for me, I can play it regardless because of the fact that it's the first Mortal Kombat game, and that's the very like the first game I actually ever played.
Yeah, I
If
mean,
you want if you want to calm me down to eat or get my hair done, you could give me Mortal Kombat when you put it on the TV.
yeah, I mean, okay, it's plain and simple. It's one of those games that just kind of sticks with you, and you'll always
Yeah.
kind of remember it, especially if you had an experience like that where in the arcade somebody like beat on you.
Oh, that wasn't until years later.
Oh,
Like
okay,
I
okay, okay.
want to say, I was 4 at that time when I was in my old house, so I want to say 2 to 4 more years later that would happen. But mind you, like I was born when this game came out, so
Yeah,
that was the same year I was born. So I wouldn't play it for until like I wouldn't understand what I was doing. So I wouldn't understand what I was doing until recently, like 2018. But I wouldn't know that I'm playing a video game until 1999 to 2000.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Once you at least knew what you were doing, at least to a point.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
2000 maybe. I was in 1999. I'm sorry. 2000, 2001, pretty much on that time for there. But yep, that's my history with that's pretty much MK4. Now, hmm, we can do one or two things right now.
Okay.
We can either, I think it's kind of obvious which one we should do, but we can either watch the endings real quick since it's actually a time on that, or we can pretty much read over the we can just go over the general synopsis of the backstory.
Whatever you prefer. I say actually, you know
Okay,
what? Let's just jump into the story.
okay. Because I'm not going to go and reach panel for panel. I will say this. I heard that there was a Mortal Kombat 4 comic book. Never knew where to find it, so I never really messed around with it too much. Finally, I found it today as we were recording, and you can find it on readcomicsonline.to, and you can read the full Mortal Kombat 4 comment, and maybe 1, 2, and 3 as you were saying earlier. I don't know, but it, but yeah,
Usually on that
that's
website you can find pretty much everything.
yeah. But let's go ahead and just go over what's going on. So keep in mind, after MK3, Edenia and Darkfront were both separated. Now, after that, Katana was pretty much not a delegate. She was, but it's like almost like a liberator or like a peace talker for everyone else because apparently um, Shokin and um, Centaurs are from Edenia because that's where they are living at now after the realm split up. But before that, we see Sindel getting ready to to give judgment on a traitor who got swept into the rug of Edenia. And before she gets her sentence, and we see that it is Reptile. And Reptile is still loyal to Shao Kahn. I mean, he gets treated like crap, and he's not in the same world as him anymore, but the Alpha serves Shao Kahn till death. So I'm just asking you, if you are, if Torrance, I don't know where the app came from. I would have to actually look at it real quick. Actually, well, I'm gonna just fact check this real quick because Reptile is helping Shinnok as well. But let's see, is it official that it was? Yeah. So according to the MK for his bio, he is pretty much facing trial for mass genocide, for committing genocide against different spaces and the death of millions, which I don't think that's him. I think they just pretty much like, Shao Kahn's not here, so we're going to judge you instead, since you work, since you want to be loyal to him. Which is sort of like Shao Kahn by proxy. But because of that, Sindel decides to send him to the cobalt mines of Shokin. So that confirms, like I said, we have the Shokins here as well. But I feel like instead of making someone just do a life, this is literally this quote is like, for your crimes against the realm of Eugenia, I sentence you to a life of hard labor in the cobalt mines of Shokin. Now, that's pretty much the same thing that Shinnok Sing Song got after he lost the first MK tournament, not MK1, when he lost to the Great Khan Lao.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of see it. I see what that comes with. It kind of looks like from Mortal Kombat Conquest, but it's like, I mean, just kill him. Like, you guys are literally cool with killing everyone else. It's like, just kill this guy who committed mass genocide if he really did that. Well, he didn't even do it, but it's like, okay. But he goes on to say, you'll pay for this, and you will pay for this, Sindel, and I will destroy you and your people. Next panel shows Tanya and her father speaking about a realm of refugees, like we mentioned, about people who want somewhere to stay now because of everything happened in their realm. Well, Tanya is just, I guess, slick with the tongue because she's able to convince her and the people she brought in are just able to convince her to like a realm that she never heard of, who they said were so advanced and stuff. Like, we never been, like, I've never heard of you. And they're heard of this tyrant you're speaking of. They're like, oh, well, we're just a quiet people, Your Majesty. But we brought you a gift that was made by our most talented arsonist, right? Or I guess it's sort of like an artisan or something like that. And it said you will see your heart's desires upon Glazenada. So this is how they tricked her. The over 10,000-year-old queen is tricked by holding a orb that the more she looks at it, the more slowly it turns into a portal. First of all, I want to know who this person is right here who's tricked her. Because it doesn't, I think it's supposed to be Quan Chi, but it doesn't look like Quan Chi to me. Like, it's very, very subtle. So, are you still reading the comic as well, or no?
I'm gonna read it tomorrow. I didn't open it up, no.
Yeah. Well, I'll like send you a picture of the guy I'm talking about, but it looks like it could be Quan Chi because it has little tattoos on his eyebrow, on his forehead. But
So it might be somebody different, you mean?
yeah, but like I feel like they should make this person more of a character then. That's the case.
Yeah.
He looks cooler than most anyone else I've seen. And from here, you have next page. You literally have the Shokins and the Centaurs literally roasting each other about land. Like, this is literally this was going on. It's like, you stole our land. It's our land. And the Centaurs are saying, you four-armed freaks. Guess what the Shokin says? Don't make me ride you, horseman.
Which is just weird as shit.
Yeah, but my point being, like, this is like, I mean, like nowadays, like, this is the closest thing you can say, like, a roasting bout against different species.
Yeah.
Like, literally, the only thing, if one person had, like, I kind of want to do this now too, but if one person like had their hands like the little roast hand, when you're all four fingers and hand just point in one direction, that would make this whole thing just epic for me. I would just like die laughing. But Katana is literally trying to keep the peace, and you see a figure in the background, but Katana's trying to keep the peace, and no one, well, not that no one doesn't listen to her, but the centaurs don't want to listen to her. They say, you're worse than Shao Kahn, shit like that. And Goro's like, oh, fuck this shit. So, mind you, Goro's been missing since MK1. Everyone thought he was dead, and now it's like, wait, I thought everyone, like, even the Centaur, he punched the Centaur dead in the face and was like, I thought we thought you were dead. It's like, I hid my death because of my shame. Now I'm back, and I dare anyone to test me now, pretty much. Even everyone feared Goro, pretty much. And because of that, the Centaurs and the Shokans are now buddy buddy. But in the distance, you see that same. Remember that thing I told you, like Snail was holding, that orb?
Yeah.
It opened up a huge portal over the entire castle. And that released the Shinnok, Quan Chi, and Scorpion, and Reiko. They use, pretty much, I guess, it's well known that Edenia is like the closest thing to the Garden of Eden we have. So they use Edenia they sneak in through Edenia to get to the heavens, and so he can take out the. His beef is not even fully with the Elder Gods; it's mostly with Raiden. So he takes out Raiden because, oh shit, I had to mention this. So I don't want to read this because it's just I hate the I hate it. MK4 little story. You want to read that for me?
Sure.
Little story, game story.
On Mankey Warehouse.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep. Just the game story. All right.
yeah.
Thousands of years ago,
I
in a
know. Say
battle
it in a
with
deep voice. It's Raiden.
Okay. Thousands of years ago, in a battle with the fallen elder god known as Shinnok, I was responsible for the death of an entire civilization. To rid all realms of Shinnok's menace, I waged a war that plunged the earth into centuries of darkness and banished Shinnok to a place called the Netherrealm. Now, after Shinnok's defeat at the hands of the Earth Warriors, Shinnok has managed to escape
Shao
his
Kahn.
Shinnok says right here. Oh, sorry. Now, after Shao
No.
Kahn's defeat at the hands of the Earth Warriors, Shinnok has managed to escape his confines of the Netherrealm. The war is now being fought once again, and this time it can be won by mortals.
Words of Raiden. I was gonna like have. I
Killed
want
it.
to. You do that, I'll snap.
Which is
When
fucking.
you know, like when you do like slam poetry, they like they're at the group there, they're just snapping. Like,
I'm proud of that, just so you know.
that's something. My snap. You did a good job up until the point where you said the wrong name. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
my
okay.
bad, my bad. But you see, I
But
had a
no,
second
the
take.
whole
So.
point of this, because even in his bio, it's known that Shinnok. It's never that he wants Earth, and that's kind of I hate this as well. They make it seem like in the new time that he's all about um, taking over Earth from, and it's making like a generic villain. It's like no, he really has beef with Raiden, and that's why he truly coming back. Like I don't care who gets in the way, I'll destroy anything in my way, but I'm here to kill Raiden. That's mostly all. That and the Elder Gods for banishing me, but the next panel we have Sub-Zero. We see the only version, the only interaction before a new timeline with the old and new Sub-Zero. But after Sub-Zero, Beyond pretty much defeats and beats their ass, which keep in mind, this is a mortal who beat up four guys, by the way. After he does that, Beyond has a history of pretty much fucking a lot of people over. So after the Lin Kuei, after he Sub-Zero leaves the Lin Kuei, and he deals with all the other deal with his life, he decides to go pretty much fix everything that Lin Kuei and his brother have done in the past to screw people over at this point.
Yeah.
So he goes to the elemental temples so he can go pretty much like redeem his brother's name, and none of the gods are going to be found. And that is because they're all in the heavens fighting Shinnok now. While that's going on as well, because they're seeing everyone's seeing like a little glare in the sky coming out. It's like a meteor almost. But while Sub-Zero is looking for the elemental guys, Kai's been getting his ass whooped by Liu Kang because he decided to finally join the White Lotus as well and try to be as good as Liu Kang. Like we said before, he was to be Liu Kang's successor. Now, I do like this because we actually get to see a personal version of Liu Kang. And this comes from the movie, I'm assuming, because it says right here, like, your grandfather has requested your presence, Master Liu Kang. And it's like, oh, so he actually does have a personal relationship to somebody that's not just Kung Lao. And actually, Kung Lao comics, I'll be honest, so we have that expectation. But it's not even like Liu Kang, after winning the tournament, Liu Kang is now a master. And he's pretty much making up on his word to make train the next generation of fighters for the next Mortal Kombat tournament. Now, as the meteor I mentioned a second ago, Kai and Liu Kang goes down to check it out, and it's literally Fujin getting ready to be killed by some demons by Shinnocks. And they ended up getting involved, obviously, as well. But this is where, like I said, I can't wait to do the endings because it's my favorite ending sim. But this time we're on the subject of, which is like only a couple cities over. We're now looking at Sonya Blade's story arc, and this has to do with her and Jarek. So she's still chasing black dragons, but it turns out she's no longer a part of the special forces. I know that's a twist.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Happened with MK3, they started a new organization called the OIA, which is the Outer World Investigation Agency. Now, she leaves the Special Forces and go join them instead, because guess the reason is.
Um, hmm. I'm gonna say, damn, I can't remember. Dude,
Okay.
I have so much to fucking read over for MK4. It's like it's the one game in the series that I truly have never had any interest in. Not truly, not ever any interest whatsoever. It's just this one I've just never really gone into too deeply.
You never had a reason to. I
Yeah,
get it. That's literally like I started my research today and I found this, so that's why I'm a little bit more prepared.
yeah.
But and it wasn't like a legit reason for this. This is a joke reason. So this is what it says. In Shanghai, Sonya Blade has tracked down Jarek, the last member of the Black Dragon. She is no longer works for the U.S. Special Forces, but Sonya has vowed to capture every member of the Black Dragon. Too bad the fight's not going her way. Luckily, her membership in the Outer World Investigation Agency allows her to go to places that she couldn't when she worked in the Special Forces. So she leaves the Special Forces just to hunt more Black Dragons. Jarek whooped her ass, and he's leaving, and she's getting ready to shoot him, but she get cut up by Jax via comms because there's bigger issues going on right now. And this is her first reaction to the fact that Jax needs her help. Damn it, Jax! I almost had Jarek.
Yeah, lovely person, right?
Yeah. But I think, and you see, Jackson's like, your vendetta is gonna have to wait pretty much. They find out that there's some inner world, inner world issues going on, and they're like a portal pretty much up in China. And they literally send a copter to pick up Sonya, and we see John Cage is alive. Now, I need to probably do some more research on John Cage and see how he's alive. Do me a favor real quick.
Yeah.
Go to John Cage's bio and tell me what it says.
Okay.
But pretty much Jack
True.
said that Johnny Cage can come along because he knows generally what's going on. He knows the same stuff, but his reasoning for he said his reasoning for that is for research for his latest movie called Massive Strike. It's about two special forces agents that fall in love. You gotta love Johnny, and you gotta just want to kick his ass.
Yeah, he's the best. Whether you love him or you hate him, he's the best for sure. And of course, his alternate costume was him in a tuxedo, which was the start of the Johnny Cage tuxedo gimmick that continues to this day, and you can pretty much put him in anything, and he's gonna look good. All right, so his bio reads: After Shao Kahn's defeat, Cage's soul is free to leave to a higher place. From the heavens, he observes his friends once again engaged in battle. When he learns of the war waged against the Elder Gods by Shinnok, Cage seeks out Raiden to help him restore his deceased soul and join Liu Kang in his quest. Once again, Johnny Cage finds himself fighting alongside Earth's warriors.
So I think there were multiple things told because, like I said, before the even war happens, unless it literally happened just like that. And I feel like he was sending Johnny Cage directly to Liu Kang instead of Sonya, then Liu Kang. Um, it's kind of like a little fuzzy when he came back to life. But I know, like from the comics to what his bio says, do not match up at all. Because it makes it seem like in this comment that he's been on, and this was not made by Tobias, but it was pretty much like to go off of Tobias, the story for MK4.
He was the
But
supervisor, essentially. Not the supervisor, sorry. He was the one that they based everything off of, like you said, yeah.
yeah, but as back to Crater now, Liu Kang and Kai are just fighting with demons, and then you have Raiden show up to pretty much barbecue all of them. And Raiden is weirdly spelled with a Y now, not I. But I
It's the only
think that's
game,
for
right?
copyright reasons. Huh?
It's the only game.
Yeah, leave I. Yeah, I think it's I. I'm not sure what it says on. Let's see. So Raiden for MK4 is spelled with an I in the game, but the book is with a Y. But pretty much Raiden comes down to explain to them that the Elder Gods are under attack, and not Fujin and him are the only two gods left on Earth. And he also reveals that Kitana, that they came through Edenia, and now Kitana's world's in danger. Liu Kang is like, well, we gotta go save him. Like, just wait. Everything will happen the way it should. So Raiden's still being Raiden. Kai's confused shitless. Like, he knows who Raiden is, but he's like, okay, why are we not going with him? And how the hell are we going to get to Edenia? And Liu Kang has put. I like Liu Kang, but he's too passive and too like understanding for this.
Which has kind of always
This is
been
literally
his
conversation.
problem as a character.
But this is literally what he said. He said, "How do we?" This is what Kai said. How do we find Earth's warriors, and how will we get to Edenia? Relax, Kai. Things just seems to happen when Raiden is around.
Hmm.
And literally, a helicopter comes down with Johnny Cage and Sonny and says, "See, I told you." That is not reassuring.
Definitely
Okay,
not.
I'm just saying that. That is not reassuring at all. Like, don't tell me things just so happen to happen.
It's interesting,
But
isn't it, how much of a contrast there is between how Raiden was in the old timeline and how he is now?
no, his purpose is like the same almost. Like Raiden doesn't do shit.
Well,
He
at
doesn't
least at
ever.
least he wasn't a complete fuck up before.
Oh yeah. Well, technically, three out of five of the Earth realm gods are dead because of Raiden because he had beef with Shinnok.
Yeah, but is that Raiden's fault
Which I
though?
mean, I know it's not fully his fault, but it's like they make it seem like the whole war was against the Elder Gods in the new timeline, when in this timeline it literally shows that he just like I want Raiden. I will kill the elder gods as well for banishing me, but my beef is with Raiden mostly. But now you have Kai, and for this time around, um, because Liu Kang is explaining what's going on as well, but Jax is not even involved. Almost it looks like. So do me a favor and read Jax's bio for me.
Will do. Just 1 second, pulling them up.
Yes. Yeah. Liu Kang's filling Sonya and Johnny in on what's going on, and that they have to go to Edenia. Johnny Cage is like, hold on for a second. I did not sign up for this, for anything like this. I have to get back to. Wait, I have to get back to LA land. I'm not sure what the fuck he was trying to say,
Maybe Los Angeles or
but
something.
they LA land or La La land. I'm not sure. I'm like saying
Probably La
he
La
said,
Land.
he said he needs to get. I gotta get to back to this La La land. I'm like, I don't know, but
Yeah. I'll read Jax real fast.
regardless,
It says for
yeah.
Jax is when Sonya disappears while tracking the last living member of the Black Dragon, Major Jackson Briggs heads after her. He soon finds that Sonya's mission has led her into a battle with the forces of an evil elder god. This is a battle they must win, or their own world will crumble at the hands of Shinnok.
Okay. So that explains why he's not really present in the comic. But Sub Zero comes around to explain to them that who Shinnok is, because no one knows who he is at this point. But he's like, Liu Kang is right. Shinnok is evil incarnate. I think my brother, the original Sub Zero, has has some sort of encounter with Shinnok, and maybe it may be what caused this whole thing. It will take us to put a stop to this. So Earth Heroes this time around is Liu Kang, Sub Zero, Kai, Johnny Cage, Sonya. But the biggest thing was like they don't have no one here has pole magic, and this is where I like the OIA because the OIA is literally the real world version of pretty much they know everything what's on with interdimensional realms, and now they instead of using magic for portals, they now use science and have an actual portal gun at this point, really. But they were able to, I guess, take. I'm not sure how they were able to do it, but pretty much they were able to make a nuclear generator to open portals. So they open the portal to Indiana. They run in there. Sony tells them that to call Jax. I mean, yeah, because Jax know what's going on pretty much. And as soon as they come here, Quan Chi's literally waiting for them, and that's the end of the story. Of the intro of the story, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't
So
dive
let's go
too
ahead.
deep into some things, unfortunately. They kind
Yeah,
of leave a lot of things up to interpretation.
yeah. Well, let's go ahead and cover some more. Let's cover the rest of the characters. Oh, they actually gave him his MK2 costume. Raiden.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I will do Raiden. You go to Sonya, and we'll cover the rest of the characters, the bios, because like there's not a lot of things really. A lot of things are left for the imagination almost. So it's hard to say like what is going on with just like assuming without we have to actually read this stuff so we can kind of have a better idea.
Yeah.
But the Thunder God returns to Earth after the defeat of Shao Kahn, but finding his new threat with Shinnok forces led by Quan Chi, the Elder God attacks the Elder Gods. With the heavens in disarray, Raiden exists as one of the last gods of Earth. He must come to the aid of his elders and put it into the villainous reign of his ancient enemy. So Raiden is, like I said, he's actually being involved in this this time around when it comes to these characters coming to pretty much save the day. So I appreciate that in this one. Instead of like, oh, I can't get involved unless someone directly challenges me. Or I want to let you pretty much walk all over me, walk all over my realm and just merge with this. Okay, so go and read Sonya.
Alright, Sonya. After her journey into the Outworld and Shao Kahn's near destruction of Earth, Sonya becomes a member of Earth's own Outworld Investigation Agency. Her first mission leads her to join Liu Kang on his quest to aid the troubled Thunder God Raiden. She must survive long enough to warn her government of the new menace brought on by Quan Chi. So basically, her whole thing is, warn people of what's coming, and of course, founding the
It's like her MK3 story, but she doesn't. But she goes straight to Edenia instead, so it's kind of a little weird how they said that. Like it's like kind of like how Shaolin monks, like you feel like there was. It's like I wonder like with the new games in general, like after Y2K, like not all the pieces are there. Like so, like Shaolin monks, like you think that they didn't read MK2 at all to this game they came up with. But okay, Sub-Zero.
Yeah, before we go to Sub-Zero, I just want to say real fast, like I think this is actually one of Sonya's better costumes. Just in
Oh
general.
yeah.
I think it's definitely one of her best ones, if not her best one.
Oh yeah, I agree to that. Because it actually looks like something military wise, and she's not military anymore. She's actually. It's hard to say what she is now, because she's not working with special forces, but she is still working with the government to make sure Earth is safe. But it's more like a UN situation versus just United States of America.
Yeah. She's more worried about the world as opposed to just whatever military she works
her country.
For. Yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely would say this is definitely one of her better costumes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, before I reach Sub-Zero, you can go ahead and go to Scorpion, since he's obviously next.
I have him already popped on.
Good. I was going to just say this. For some reason, in those little, like the character slots,
Yeah.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero, when I was younger, looked like cats.
Alright.
The little like pointy parts of their mask. Not like the blue mask, like the little black thing they wear over their head.
Okay, yeah, I could see that, I guess. Not really,
I
but I
was
could
4.
kind of see it. Yeah.
I was 4. They look like cats. Okay. After Shao Kahn's defeat at the hands of Earth's fighters, Sub-Zero's warrior clan, known as the Lin Kuei, is disbanded. But with the new threat brought on by Quan Chi, the Ice Warrior once again dons on the familiar costume worn by his brother, the original Sub-Zero. He also holds the secrets he passed on to him by his sibling secret to the key to being stopped in Shinnok. So technically, and it's hard to say, there's supposed to be like 3 potential fights against Shinnok. There's the Liu Kang, because he's the obviously protagonist, because he's Liu Kang. There's Raiden, who is literally like direct beef with Shinnok.
Shinnok, yeah.
Yeah. And you have Sub-Zero, whose brother actually beat Shinnok last time in Mythologies. And he told him a secret. They told him the secret on how to beat Shinnok. So no one knows like how the fight really just like broke down from there. But when we get to MK, I think it's 4. I mean, I think it's Deadly Alliance, but Liu Kang has 4 medals. So it's kind of safe to say that Liu Kang at least finished off Shinnok.
Yeah, which was always, kind of a shame. This was an opportunity for them to kind of go a different route, but they just didn't really do it.
Yeah. All right, Scorpion.
All right, Scorpion. In hopes of gaming... Oh, hold on. In hopes of gaining Scorpion as a new ally in the war with the Elder Gods, Quan Chi makes the dead ninja an offer he cannot refuse: life, in exchange for his services as a warrior against the Elders. Scorpion accepts, but hides under ulterior motives.
First of all, I will say this: he has some cool costumes Scorpion did.
Yeah, this one is one of my preferred ones.
Well, like even like his alternate one where you have the
Yeah,
yellow, you have the reddish orange, and the silver with the skull. But like I said, I like all the costumes in MK Gold because I'm not sure why, but it's just like that's wow. Like that's the first game I have, so I have like a special thing. But that max though, that kind of reminds. That's why I think of Scorpion when I first see him.
yeah, me too.
Now, his alternative motives. So keep in mind, we talked about this before, where Scorpion vowed to protect Sub Zero after the MK2 Lane after the MK2 tournament. Well, his secret alternative motives was pretty much Quan Chi also told him that, hey, that other Sub Zero, yeah, he killed your brother, he killed your family and the rest of your clan. So before where it was just Sub Zero killed Scorpion, and then Kuai Ling killed the clan, is now gotten watered down to the point when the new timeline that one Sub Zero killed everybody, Shirarayu, Scorpion, and the entire clan. Which, like I said, that's ridiculous, but because how do one person really kill everybody? And if that's the case, how the hell are you able to kill that person when you're dead?
Yeah, I think they kind of went overboard with that
But
one.
yeah, well, that's the new timeline version, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes sense why Scorpion is now fighting side of evil. Because even in MK3, I know we ain't talk much about it, but in MK3, Scorpion was gonna work for Shao Kahn at first, but you see, like that Kuai Ling is working for the Earth Realm. Like, well, I can't fight against him, so I guess I'll help Earth Realm too, without telling them I'm fighting for Earth Realm. So it makes sense why he's working for evil now. But it's like now it's like, all right, we don't want to do all this extra stuff, so we're just going to say one guy did everything. I mean, and in the end too, it's true, but it's just like I don't think somebody could kill the entire race of people by themselves unless it was Quan Chi. And it's just kind of common sense in general, but
Yeah, nobody should be that
yes,
powerful to just fucking destroy everybody.
no
Especially because
human at least.
yeah, especially because he's not beating up random people. They're taking on trained killers. So
Well, that's the thing too. Like Scorpion knows Kuai Ling um, doesn't believe in killing unless he has to. So why the hell would he just kill your whole family clan? And that's because he doesn't even verbally say that, hey, I'm your protector now. He just like walks away and like I will protect him at all costs.
yeah,
That's really what happens. Okay, who is left now? You did Johnny, you did
yeah.
Jax.
There's Cyrax, Katana, Melina.
Let's do Reptile.
Okay.
I think I skimmed over him, but I didn't read into it. Reptile. A general in Shinnok's army of darkness, Reptile once belonged to an extinct race of reptilian creatures. He was banished to the Netherrealm for committing genocide against several species, responsible for the death of millions. Reptile is a dangerous ally in the force of evil. That's cute. Try to make him sound like he's bigger than what he really is.
Try to make him sound like he's actually useful.
Yeah. I will say this. I like the graphics for his fatalities more than anyone else. I can say it. Like the spit. Like the
Yeah,
access thing is it's weird, but it's like it's cool.
it fits for sure.
Yeah. Well, it's like a bunch of just big bubbles that look like peas. That's what I mean. Like we know, like we are aware that the graphic was bad for 1997. Well, it was good for 1997. It's bad now, but if you keep Reptile and you go into his move list and see the fatalities,
Yep.
and then you go to not the first square picture, but the second one where it has the um, it's the acid burn fatality.
Yeah.
Look at those green circles. Does that look like peas?
They definitely look like peas. Yeah.
That's I'm not sure why, but I think that's like so cool to me.
It's kind
I
of
don't know
in
why.
your brain. Probably like that as a kid, so it makes
Yeah,
just kind of carried over.
yeah. I didn't like pizza as a kid, but it's like, yeah, that's so cool. Oh, on the topic as well, all this as well. By the way, weapons wise, Kai had a club. Raiden had his
His staff, right?
hammer.
Oh, his hammer.
No,
That's
he had
right.
a
He had
hammer.
Ren's hammer.
He had his staff as well, but he had his hammer first. That was his primary. Reptile had battle axe. Jax had a well, Johnny Cage had a gun. Jax had a spike club, so just like Reiko. Scorpion had a straight sword, I believe. Sub Zero had like a Cryomancer sword. Let's call it Ice Staff. So pretty much the same thing. And Sonya, alright, I want you to click Sonya and tell me what it says her weapon was.
All right, hold on a second. I had Cyrax
Okay.
open.
Alright, well, I'll let you get him. I'll get that
Her
ready for
weapon
you
is a
then
wind
instead.
blade.
But okay, that sounds cool, right?
I mean, not really to me.
Alright, well, guess what it was though?
Or a knife.
It was a metal. It was a stick with metal like shadings on it, like little sharp edges, four sharp edges. The spin. Long story short, it was a metal pinwheel.
Oh, that's really cool, man. Really, really cool.
Look at the picture of it later and tell me how cool it is. All right. So Cyrix is finally released, rescued from his desert prison by the Lin Kuei. The physical damage sustained while in the desert was relatively easy to repair, but Cyrix seemed very different he first said, from when he first said, out on the original assassination mission against Sub-Zero. Only time will tell how well Cyrix has overcome his ordeal. So Johnny Cage, Jackson, Sonya, you're the ones who find. So I guess when he's in MK3, he's in the desert. He's in prison somehow, and maybe it's not something we may need to look at the ending for, and I'll find out later. But he's trapped there, and Sonya and Jackson want to find him and free him. And he's just where he was just all evil. I think the time he was in his little desert prison, he let him time to actually his soul to fight back towards the front and realize like, maybe I shouldn't be an assassin. Maybe I should be doing the right thing. It's like a situation where you are in a bad space and you are start praying, it's like, God, if you get me out of this, I promise I will never do this thing ever again. For me, it was recently when I was drinking and I was going up at someone else's house.
Ooh.
And I said, if you give me through this, I will never drink again. I will drink a week later. But take like 3 shots later. But my point being is that kind of seemed like what Cyrex did. Like, if you get me out of this desert hell, I will be a straight edge guy.
He'll fix his life up.
Mm-hmm. Turn his life around.
Never really works out that way though.
No, he actually did.
I mean,
For
he
Cyrax,
does.
he did.
Yeah.
But everyone else, no. Yeah, never. All right. Since we did Cyrax, I guess you can go and do Sector.
All right. Sounds good. I have him popped up right now. All right. Even suspicious of the effect of Cyrax's prolonged exile in the desert, the Lin Kuei are forced to send him since their forces are vastly reduced. In the guise fighting alongside his Lin Kuei comrade, Sector's orders are to watch and report on Cyrax. Sector's reports will decide whether this is the last mission for Cyrax.
I mean, I have nothing to say. He's literally just a Power Squad version of Cyrax. So
Yep, and he's just there to make sure he's basically doing the same thing,
it
basically the same thing as Molina did to Katana and MK3.
too, but that's not the same
MK2,
comparison I
yes,
was to
sorry.
make too.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. All right, four more characters. Wow, how I'm gonna say this. There's a reason why we don't do this format often like this because there's so many characters, so much to read, and
Yeah, it's a
so
lot.
much we can talk about with those characters. So when it comes back to the next game, we're not doing this version again. We will just talk about those stories and introduce new characters.
Yeah.
But all right, I'm doing Baraka. You can get ready for it. Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay, so that's faded as hell. Ever the nomad, Baraka has spent much time wandering many realms whilst traversing back through Guinea. He was made an offer to rule the realm at the side of Quan Chi. Eager to return into battle for any cause, Baraka but accepts but has a different idea on how things will turn out. So this is pretty cool of Baraka, especially with the staples. But it's the same thing we always say about Baraka. He doesn't go nowhere.
He's just kind of
I don't feel
always
like he even.
same spot every time.
Uh, like this one is literally it's him and Reptile in the same spot where they're offered to help help Shao Kahn, not Shinnok, not to help Shinnok and Quan Chi, and they say, yeah, sure, why not? Like this literally says right here, eager to return to battle for any cause. So it sounded like he had like a stake in it. He's just like, all right, yeah, I'll fight. But also his weapon was, oh wait, so Cyrax and Sector's weapons were lightsabers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Um,
That was always all right.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah.
But and I would think it's just his blades, but his Baraka's weapons are razor canes.
Yeah. Always weird
I'm
that one
pretty sure it's
too.
just his blades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got Kung Lao. Many believe that Kung Lao had died from injuries suffered during the final fight against Shao Kahn. In fact, he had merely turned into a new life without violence and reverence to his ancestral beliefs. As news of Shinnok's threat reaches Kung Lao, together with the apparent return of Goro, Kung Lao returns once more to challenge his ancestor's killer. Guys, pardon me, I'm getting kind of tired, so if you hear me talking a bit quieter, it's because it's really late here. Anyway, carry on.
I mean, that's the thing too. Keep in mind that a bunch of these stories were just copy and paste in because of MK Gold. So a lot of people they found a spot for them and they just put them there, but it fits, but it doesn't fit. But pretty much instead of helping, the reason why he wasn't, pretty much what they said, the reason why he wasn't in the first game, in the original game, was because he decided to go adjust Goro for killing his ancestor.
Yeah.
Which we do see that in his ending, but it's just like one of those things that, all right, I get what you're trying to do, but you think you can kind of help us over here where if we lose, our world's taken over and this world's taken over, so your revenge is a little more petty instead of helpful right now. I mean, it's good. um, character development, but it's kind of like in the realm of common sense. Like if someone did that to me, I would be so pissed. Like I get where you're coming from, but you could have at least at least told us that you were alive and this is what you're doing.
Yeah, there's more important things at stake, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kung Lao was. This is kind of where he started taking a dip towards the being kind of garbage.
Yeah.
They talk about that a lot really
All
well in
right.
the retrospective on the Lost.
Yeah. So we can do one or two things. We can skip Seikatanas and skip Melina's. Use Melina because I'm be honest, Melina's spot in this game is not even worth mentioning
Yeah,
really.
she's just kind of there.
But I don't want us to. I don't want to do it, skip it, and then we have to deal with this in the future as
Yeah,
well,
you
like
you
getting
do
death
Katana, I
threats
do Melina.
for skipping this. Okay, good. Okay, please don't be a long to read because I'm tired of reading at this point. Let's see, I'm waiting for it to load.
Katana.
Okay, as Quantity's forces leave her realm, Kitana bows. Hmm. All right. As Quantity's forces leaves her realm to battle Raiden and his forces, Kitana manages to escape the remaining guards surprisingly easily. Okay, it's they're this is what you expect. She thinks little they all right. She thinks little of her escape and quickly into battle. Whoever wrote this sucks is writing. But she joins the fight against Shinnok Chi to save her own realm. And it depends on her success. So after the portals open and they come in, um, Kitana, Jade, Sindel, and everyone else are pretty much held captive and are held prisoner until Earth has won. They, I guess, could not make her as a damsel in distress. They released Katana so she's not the damsel no more, and Green come here to save her. Like she saved herself.
Mm-hmm.
He just helped save her world, but
Well, thankfully
and
they
that's
made
the one
her
thing I can say too.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was that way in 2 and 3. Their relationship in 2 and 3 weren't even a thing. It wasn't until 4 because this is after the first movie. And they added, I guess, not saying that thing they could have, they went with like, oh, she saved herself. She didn't have the king to come save her. But, yep. All right. Do this last one.
All right, Melina. Reborn in the Netherrealm and servant to Shinnok since her rebirth, Melina finds that the coming battle gives her a chance to both escape her fearful servitude to Shinnok and avenge her own death. Knowing Katana will fight for Edenia, Melina ensures an easy escape route is left as she moves into battle with Shinnok. Basically, not even worth mentioning.
Exactly.
She's
Like I
just
said,
kind of
she's
there.
literally there to pretty much, to, she's literally there to like pretty much pay back on Katana.
Yeah.
And I think, I will say this, we finally read everyone's bio and did this. Um, I think if they would have pulled the plug on it earlier instead of getting Armageddon, this is what I'm talking about. So, in in Armageddon, there's her ending is literally that a flash happens and she's turned beautiful, and everyone looks at her as Katana now. Versus they look at Katana and she has like disgusting teeth, and she's saying, I'm Katana," and she's locked in the dungeon now. Pretty much, she gets to what she always wanted to be Katana.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty one dimension, but um, in this story, in this ending they have of hers, she confronts Katana at the throne room, and if you do Melina's, she actually kills Katana. So if they would have pulled the plug right there instead of Deception and Armageddon, that would have been a really good difference. Have her supposed to be Katana, and everyone thinks that she's dead. Katana comes back instead of the whole storyline they did. Well, that would have given Melina more to work with.
It definitely would have added a bit more depth to Melina, given a lot
Yeah.
more
I mean,
opportunities
it's
for her to
literally the
grow.
same thing it's literally the same thing she always does, but um, like what she always wanted. But it's like she actually gets what she wanted, and we can actually build off of that.
Yeah.
Versus in the new timeline, as one dimension as it is in the old timeline, you can still do a lot with it if you actually pull the plug on it. Versus the new timeline, she knows her own person, so that's good. But it's like her whole thing is that she's not Katana.
And it's like, once it's like that, they just never really actually become their own character. She's literally just trying to
Exactly.
be something else.
And that's the, it's not. I'm not saying that's something good for her as well. I think it's something we have to just play around and figure it out if it's really good for her. But she just has to figure out like what's the like she has. I wish she would figure out. Like, we gotta see that growth with her. Like I don't need
Yeah.
to be Katana. I can be my own person now. Versus um, Katana's dead, so I have no ties to her at all. They didn't even talk to each other at MKX. And MK11 would have a perfect opportunity for them to actually make them quote unquote sisters now. But there's so many things you can pull the plug on that they just never do. But I think what we're going to do now, instead of like listen to for one, we're not going to listen to the endings tonight. There's too many of them. Well, there's literally 5, 10, 15, 20 endings. No, 21 endings we have to listen to. Forget that. So I think what we do, and it's a separate video just as a reaction, I guess, because you've never seen them.
Yeah, we can just do that. We can kind of do like
Um,
it, and we can make that a series too. We can react to the endings and stuff like that of each game.
the ending of those games, well, besides telling life going forward now, but the first three are just words,
Well, of course, yeah, yeah.
and we are
Like cutscene wise,
discussing.
yeah, yeah. Once they become cutscenes.
But this one, like, these are like hilarious. That's the problem, and you've got to see this shit.
No, I've seen all the endings.
Oh, you see into
Yeah,
four?
yeah, yeah. I've
All
seen
into
all the
four?
ending wise. I've seen them all. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I mean, there's. I'd be
all
more
right.
than
Well,
happy
we
to
still.
rewatch them. It's been years.
Oh yeah. Well, we can still do that, and we can talk about them as we do each ending as well. But
Yeah, but we can do that for a
the
whole
point
separate thing. This will
being
be
is
hours long, if not.
exactly. We are at 2 hours right now, but
Yeah.
closing statements from you since you never played me before and you just learned everything you know today.
My closing statements are, from what I know from listening to, of course, talking to you today, and listening to The Lost lately, is that MK4 is actually probably one of the games alongside Deadly Alliance that has the most story and the most story arcs in the background actually taking place.
Hmm.
So from a story point of view, it's definitely one of the more entertaining games. And that's why, like, I really do like Quinn. I like Quan Chi a lot. I like a lot of the characters they introduced here. Fujin, I think, of course, Reiko. Um, I think Kai could have been better. They just kind of blew him. Pause. There was plenty of things in the game that are very positive, and I will eventually play it. And like I said, let me know in the comments if you guys know a good solid downloadable game you can play on the computer to where we can play together. Um, and I do want to play it, but like I feel like MK4, it gets a lot of stick because of how bad it looks, and that's all because, of course, it was a
Hmm.
transitional phase. So I feel like it probably is better than it maybe looks on the surface.
Yeah. That's something safe to say as well. Like it was a transition phase. One thing I did forget to mention was the new look for Reptile, but
Yeah, where he actually looks like
and
a
like I said, we
yeah.
can. actually started to like deform a little bit.
Hmm.
But like I mentioned that earlier. But the other thing I'll keep in mind is there's like you said, there's so many characters here that could have done something more. I'm going to just click one thing real quick to see if I get anything with him. Um, but in general, though, oh, there we go. Excuse me. I was just looking at the new Cybot
Mm.
bio because I guess him and Gore both have bios as well. But this is literally what it says: New Cybot returns to under Shinnok again after the Earth War overthrew Shao Kahn. After the thought, after a thought successful extermination of Shao Kahn, New Cybot returned as the general of Shinnok's army. So there's nothing there for him at all. He didn't get any. I'll be honest. New Cybot doesn't get any story until Deception. But they even have him in street clothes. I will say that. That's weird. But I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, very weird.
Um,
Makes no sense.
but my point being is that this is always be one of my favorite games, just because of the fact that the first video game I actually played, first Mortal Kombat game I played. So it's just one of those things that I will take it always, even with the bad, even playing it now. Like looking at it's always rough to play, but they did introduce a few new things in this one. So they brought back tag team mode to get three, if I can mention that. They brought in um, the whole test your might, not a little button mashing game, the actual choose your destiny that was. So you have like the easy, the hard, and the difficulty of the towers. So you have as many people as you want, and not just a set number that they pick out for you. Um, and we actually go with the new characters. And there's a lot of characters that could have gone somewhere good. Even Jarrett could have went somewhere good. Not good as a character, but he could have been written better, from a story potential wise at least. And you just see what they just crapped the bed on most of it. And like, did they care?
Yeah.
But all that aside, though,
I was gonna say, unfortunately,
go
a lot
ahead.
of times it doesn't seem like they actually do care.
Yeah,
Yep.
and like I said, we can talk during that same break that we always do every time, but it's not worth it. What I will say is there's so many things they could have done, and they might didn't see the story potential there, but it's just like it would have been like the fact that I'm kind of I don't want to end on a bad note about anything because it's like that game I actually did enjoy. Um, I also like the weapon system that we already spoke of as well, but um, looking at what we seen today and talked about, I'm almost happy that this game, the future games with the reboots, 9, X, and 11, I'm kind of happy they don't do what we want them to do because of the fact that we, me and you both are creative. I'm not gonna say we're creative geniuses. We haven't really made anything our own yet. My point being, though, is that I have written so many things. Even like look at talking about today, I just thought of so many storylines you could have done dead now, and it could change the whole course of the game for certain characters. Maybe bring up the not revenants, but it just you can do so much when you don't. A book I was reading was called write write the like screenplay something like that, but it's very about like to see you like advice on how on writing. And the people's like, where do you get your inspiration from? Like, very little did somebody get their inspiration from something that's good. Like it's good, and you remake it or you change something here or there, and that's good for a story. But a bad story is even better because like you can think of 101 plus different ways to change something. Like that should have been done here, this should have been done instead, all this, and it gives you your creative juices are just like drooling out. So yeah, I will say this, we give games, their future games some hard critiques going forward, but I'm okay with that because now I can like say, all right, if our project, if our work is so bad, what would you do instead? And if what you would do is better, then I mean, hell, maybe you might have a job in the future. But if your stuff is trash and has a lot more potholes than they did, well, maybe you should keep your comments to yourself.
Yeah, fair enough. If you don't have an idea of your own, it's gonna, piss off essentially.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. That's why I say I respect Razor and Shad. I'm not going to pretend like I've read, and even like the fourth snake. I'm not going to pretend like I read their beating arts and stuff like that. But my point being is that they make their critiques and they make their own stuff as well. And yes, a lot of they joke around about stuff, but I mean they still make their own things, and they know a good story. And it's not that they say that they can do it better. It's more on the lines that you had something good and then you could have just did that instead. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's yeah. I think we pretty much covered everything. More of the story is, MK4. It's an undervalued game. For me personally, it's also been undervalued. I've never really given it a chance, and I definitely should have a long time ago, especially because there's so many of my personal favorite characters that are in the game. It's actually a really, really, really good roster, like one of the better ones, I would say.
Yeah.
Especially the gold version. So
One of the games that I would say that it has a good story and a good roster.
yeah, it's definitely one of the better ones. That's for damn sure.
Hmm.
Well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, please hit the notification bell because that's by far the best way you can support a small channel that YouTube doesn't give a damn about. So please do that. And we'll see you next episode.
Later, guys.
Okay.